Hey y'all, so I'm here, I'm back with another video. I'm just kind of knocking these videos out. I'm super bored. Even though technically I'm working right now. I don't care. But anyway, I came because I want to talk about Love and Hip Hop, Miami, Season 3, Reunion Part 1. And I really just really want to touch on one thing about this whole little thing or whatever, but we can kind of run through what happened. As far as Prima Donna and Amara is concerned, Prima Donna, you need to mind your motherfucking business. You're mad because Jocelyn was no longer on the show, meaning you no longer had a fucking storyline. So as much shit as you want to talk about her, Jocelyn was your storyline. It didn't work, so then you felt the need to go and put your nose in somebody else's business. I was literally thoroughly concerned, honestly, about the fact that you are so concerned about somebody else's relationship. But again, I realize that this is reality TV. This is what you're here to do. You don't have a fucking storyline. This is what kills me about people like her. Prima Donna is actually somebody that I heard of before this show because I know about her waist trainers and all of this other shit. Why didn't you come on this fucking show promoting that even more? Y'all be having all the space and the opportunity and y'all use it the wrong fucking way. You should have brought your ass on here and you should have fucking pushed your waist trainers more or pushed like your seasonings or whatever the hell else that you got on your business. But no, guess what? You came on this show and you made yourself unlikable. That's what you did. Because prior to this, I mean, I didn't really know nothing about Prima Donna other than the fact she always in the shade room comments and she sell her little waist trainers. But this show made you unlikable as fuck. So if I was ever thinking about buying something for you, guess what? I wouldn't fucking do it now. The same thing happened when kind of sort of happened when Jessie Woo ended up on the show. Like certain people, they just don't need to be on reality TV. Jessie Woo, that's my bitch. Like, sister, I love her so much. Like, even way before she was on Love and Hip Hop Miami. But when she got on it, it's like, it's not that they painted her in the wrong light. It's a little bit of both. Like, she kind of contributed to it. She's better off just not being on that shit because her business is pretty much based around her personality. So if we don't like her personality if people don't like her personality in Love and Hip Hop Miami, they're not gonna try to come to her page and try to get to know her or try to be invested in anything. So yeah, so that's that. Okay. Then let's see what else we have. Nothing else really matters to me though. The whole damn thing, nothing really mattered because all it was really about was Prima Donna and Amara, and then the whole situation with Trina and the girls and everything. Oh, I do want to touch on that. Julian is a snake, and I don't care. Like Joy said, the minute he started opening his mouth, man, that's how you could tell he's a liar. Like, that man is a fraud. I could already tell. I could tell. How is it? I'm trying to figure out, like, I love you, Trina. What I will say about Trina is, Trina, you got to be more on top of your business because how the hell is Amara signed to you? Like you said, it doesn't even make any damn sense. Like, how is it that she signed underneath your label group? That just shows that he was doing some fraudulent ass shit. Okay? But this is pretty much what I really wanted to get on here and talk about real fast. I want to talk about the disrespect of Trina. Okay? Now, I'm not from, let me tell you where I'm coming from. I'm not from Miami. I'm not from the fucking South. I am from New York. I'm New York born and bred and raised, okay? And then by way of Pennsylvania. But, so I'll say this. Growing up, I knew who Trina was, of course. You know, she definitely, she had her songs, you know, Single Again and Here We Go Again. And of course, you know, oh, you know now. Like, you know, she had those songs like that. But it wasn't until I got a lot older and I started meeting different people and traveling a little bit more that I realized the impact that Trina actually has in the South. The main person that really tipped me onto that was Kid Fury. I'm pretty sure if you watch me, you should know who Kid Fury is. If you don't, look him up. But Kid Fury, as y'all know, 305 Miami Dade Down, and he literally loves Trina. Like, Trina is like his Beyonce, pretty much. Like, it's Beyonce, then it's Trina. He don't play no games about her. And, you know, it's not just him, but like I said, listening to him and other people, and I personally, like, years ago, started to do, like, my own, you know, backlog on her and stuff like that, going back, listening to, you know, songs that weren't necessarily, I guess, super big for her, but I went back and I listened to a lot of her projects. What's my favorite song by Trina right now? Not right now. You see the outfit, bitch, and killing you hoes. Cute face and asshole, killing you hoes. I got the best pussy hot and killing you hoes. And then shit you can do about it, killing you hoes. I love that song. Yeah, that song. Hustlers. She has a lot of good songs. The point of the matter is that, okay, ever since Trina's been on this show, not everybody, of course, not everybody, but I see a lot of people like discrediting her or whatever and trying to say that she's not who it all it is that they trying to make it seem like it is. But these are my points to that. Number one, other than this reunion and maybe like once or twice throughout the whole since Love and Hip Hop Miami even started, Trina does not big up herself. She's actually extremely humble. She never you I've watched every episode. Trina is not the type of person who's walking around super boastful about everything it is that she do. Now, if you come for her, she's gonna come for you back, and she's gonna come with receipts, and she's gonna come with her resume, which is what you should come with. But I think that people get aggravated. A lot of people get aggravated about, oh my gosh, she's not all of this and she's not all of that. Well, first of all, why don't you get mad at the people around her? Because it's the people around her that treat her like that. It's not just her walking around with her chin all up in the fucking air. Everybody around her, they respect her, okay? They understand her impact in the area of which they are in, okay? And what's wrong with that? Like, y'all love to wait till people are dead to give them their flowers, and that's what's kind of pissing me off about the whole thing with Trina. Like, no, is Trina the number one bitch? No. But my thing is why logically Trina came out on what, like 90 something, like maybe 98, 99, something like that. It's 2020. Why the fuck? It would be a miracle, to be quite honest, if Trina was still as relevant in 2020 as she was in 98. You only have a handful of people who do that. And specifically, if we want to talk about female rappers, that happens for almost no fucking body. I'm not trying to compare the two people, but I'm going to use this person for example just because they recently put something out. Missy Elliott. Missy Elliott, as we all know, if you're a certain age, you probably don't even know who the fuck she is. But if you're in another age bracket, you will know. Icon, legend, all of this other stuff. Now here's the thing. She put out her her EP Dripology or whatever, which was gonna be like 3 or 4 songs like a couple months ago, and that didn't move the units the way that she would have back in the early 2000s. But does that mean that she's irrelevant? Does it mean that she's not to be respected? Does it mean that she's not able to give some good advice just because she's not relevant right now? Okay, cool. Y'all don't want to use Missy Elliott because maybe that's a little bit too much. Let me see, who else can we fucking use? We're gonna use Remy Ma. Actually, let's use Remy Ma for an example. Okay, Remy and actually Trina could probably give a little bit more than Remy because Remy was locked up for the majority of the time. But point of the matter is, Remy came out late 90s, early 2000s, whatever the case may be. She went to jail, came back, had a hit, kind of got into it with Nicki, and then kind of fell off and kind of scooted back a little bit. But the point of the matter is, are you trying to say to me that there's nothing that Remy can tell anybody? That there's no advice that Remy could give to somebody? And that's what's really pissing me off. That the fact that people, just because Trina is not the top bitch of 2020, that she doesn't have anything to offer. I am so tired of just because our legends be getting older. Like, I swear, we are one of the only fucking cultures who we disrespect the fuck out of our legends, and we don't even give them their tens until they're fucking dead. And that's the shit that I'm fucking tired of. How is it that people are mad about the influence that she has on other people? It's not on you, it's on everybody else. And I don't feel like the love and stuff like that Trina get from the girls on the show is fake. I don't at all. I feel like if you are probably from Miami, you born and fucking raised in Miami, Trina, especially if you're a female, Trina is somebody that you listen to your whole fucking life. Whether or not she was on the main stage, it still affects you. And like, I do agree with Trick, point blank period, which is, if you coming from Miami, it's not like, oh, you have to be best friends with Trina, but you can't fucking disrespect her. Do you want to know why? Because you have to respect where the fuck you come from. Like Ashley Miller said on her review, you have to try to get support where you're at first. If you get home support, like, that's the first place you need to get support. If you don't get any support where the fuck it is that you're from, how the fuck do you expect to go out and get respect anywhere else? So I'm not trying to say that people gotta kiss Trina's ass, because she doesn't even give me that type. Nicki went off on her 2 to 3 times and she still didn't even give her all of that energy. But the point of the matter is that you should be respectful. Now, it's not the same like in New York where there's a shitload of rappers that came out of there, or Cali where there's a whole bunch of rappers, or hell, I don't even know where else. But let me use Texas for example. Any and everybody who come out of Texas gives who their tens. Bumby, UGK, Slim Thug. Specifically, I hear a lot of people say, like, use Slim Thug, you know, like as an example when they're talking about like people who are from Texas and stuff and talk about Slim Thug. I personally maybe know one fucking song by Slim Thug, but I'm not gonna sit up here and try to call him irrelevant and try to say, oh well, he doesn't bring anything and he's not who he think it is that he is. He probably is within his city, within his circle, and that's all that fucking matter for real, for real. Motherfuckers think that just because you're not the biggest person in the whole wide world, that oh you don't have nothing to give, or oh that your shit is not that your contribution is not wasn't necessary. At the end of the day, that girl Nikki she's in Miami. Trina is synonymous with Miami. There is not there. I really want y'all to sit up there and think. When you think of Miami and you think of rap, who the fuck is synonymous with it? Trick and Trina. And on top of that, all of these people talking shit about Trina, are y'all trying to act like, don't lie, when they first talked about Love and Hip Hop Miami coming out and they said that Trina and Trick was going to be on it, did that not some way solidify or validate the fucking show for y'all? The same way how they used Remy Ma and Joe and Jim and all of them to solidify that fucking brand. So cut the fucking shit. Like, cut the shit. I'm tired of people being disrespectful as fuck to Trina. It low key makes me mad because Trina, for real, unless you try her, she really do mind her business. She really do. She don't mind. She don't mess with nobody. The only person I ever really knew for her to get into it with was real heavy was Kaya. Outside of that, I ain't never heard nobody in the industry in these whole 20 years talk about anything bad about her at all. And another thing I could say, as much as y'all want to talk about her being irrelevant, her money is always consistent, clearly, because I ain't never, out of the whole 20 some years of that woman's career, I never in my life heard of Trina having fucking money problems. Everybody else that came out in her time frame had money problems. The Brat, Kaya, fucking Jackie, all them bitches has fucking problems. I never, the first time for real in a long time I heard Trina's name in the news was because of the fact that French Montana cheated on her with Khloe Kardashian. Outside of that, I don't ever really hear anything about Trina getting into it with anybody or her being all nasty and stuff like that. Ever. And at the end of the day, I am so sorry. Maybe to some people it's not that big of a deal, but I look at it as a big of a deal. The fact that you came out in 98 and it's now 2020 and people still know your name, people can still sing some songs of yours, people still know who you are, that counts for a fucking lot. And she herself might not be at the tippity top, but what do they say? It's not what you know, it's who you know. The fact that she was able to get a Nicki Minaj on her fucking album, gratis, and we all know that Nicki do it for the bag and she do it for the fucking look. And the fact that she was able to get Nicki on her fucking album, that says a lot. That shows the respect that people have for her. Like she said, everybody who did a feature on her album did it for free. And the features that she had on her album, it wasn't like some little itty bitty name shit. She had good ass fucking people on there, really good people. That shows the respect that she has. Again, it's not, a lot of times it's not even what you know, it's who you know. And to make it seem like Trina can't give these girls on this show nothing, I just think that that's super unfair. And at the end of the day, God forbid Trina was to drop dead or get real ill or something like that, y'all all be on her dick, right? Y'all will all be on her dick. All be on her dick. So at the end of the day, let that woman fucking live. Stop disrespecting people just because they're not as quote unquote relevant. Why would she be relevant? Why would she be the top bitch 20 years later? That doesn't even make sense. That is a rarity. That is a fucking rarity. That is a fucking rarity. For example, let's switch over to the men. Let me get somebody. Styles P. Styles P from the Locks. He's top tier lyricist of all fucking time. Is he as relevant in 2020 as he was in 2001, 2002, when D Block everywhere we go, people wanna know. Oh, I love that song. But is he that relevant anymore? No. But I guarantee you, if you put any type of real rapper in the room with him, you really think they're going to sit across from Styles P and be like, he can't tell me shit. What the fuck he know? That nigga ain't got no fucking shit popping right now. No. So at the end of the day, I did all of this to say that we need to stop waiting until people are dead to give them their flowers and be disrespecting the fuck out of them while they're here simply because they're not super relevant right now. So the fuck what? Trina is Trina. She is who she is. You still know her name. Whether or not you understand the huge impact that she had in the South, the point of the matter is you know her name, you probably know a song or two. That's more than enough right there. That is an accomplishment in itself, especially the fact that it's now 20 fucking years later. I'm done. I'm done.